Okay, we'll call this meeting to order at 10:01 a.m. Excused from the meeting, Ellen Unruh was not here today, and Kelly Christman is joining us on the screen as she has a cold. Good morning, Kelly. She's waving. We're good. Okay, and the minutes from the Municipal Planning Commission of April 7th, 2022 are in our package. Has everyone make a motion to approve those minutes? Lynette, thank you. All in favor? Okay, call for post-agenda items. Do we have any post-agenda items today? Seeing none, look for the adoption of the agenda. Amanda? Sorry, Ellen's not there. Amanda? Okay, and item number 6.1.
Holly,
yes?
Excuse me, Madam Chair. Can you yes? Hear me?
I can.
I can barely hear you.
I'm almost like kissing my mic. Is that any
okay.
better?
That is better. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, item 6.1, subdivision. Maria?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just going to pull up some maps here, and guess I can only have one up at a time. I'm not really sure, but sorry about that. Okay, thank you. This is subdivision application 2022-0-001. Nope, that's incorrect. Sorry, it's 3. This is a proposal to subdivide a 3.21 acre parcel from the northwest of 2116 west of the 4th. It is located just northwest of the village of Rosemary in Division 7. This will be the second parcel out of this quarter section. The subdivision authority bylaw states that MPC may only approve one subdivision on an unsubdivided quarter section of land within a parcel that's zoned agriculture general. However, one additional subdivision on the residual quarter may be approved provided that it is not located within an IDP area. The parcel size is between 1.21 and 2.83 hectares. It contains an existing dwelling or buildable site. It can be serviced to the satisfaction of MPC and the Development Authority. That it does not negatively impact agriculture, and that the parcel has legal and physical access, and will not significantly affect any irrigation or transportation systems in the area. And staff thinks that this proposal meets all those requirements. So the parcel does contain an existing dwelling, an attached garage, and 2 small sheds. There are no abandoned wells near the proposed subdivision, or wetlands, environmental or historical significant areas. The application was circulated to adjacent landowners and the required referral agencies. The EID has their standard conditions regarding EID water for irrigation purposes on that parcel. Alberta Transportation is okay with the proposed subdivision. And then Alberta Health Services did make a comment regarding the PSDS servicing that's currently on that parcel. So right now the parcel is serviced by a pump out system. For a pump out system to meet the Alberta safety codes, it needs to be 300 feet from a property line, 165 feet from a water source, and 150 feet from any buildings on the development. So when we see subdivisions that are on an unsubdivided quarter section, a lot of times these pump out systems will meet the requirements. the setback requirements, but when they now propose to subdivide, then those setbacks become a lot shorter. And so in this case, that pump out system would not meet the Alberta safety codes. So staff is recommending that a septic field be installed and the pump out system be disabled so that it will meet the requirements by the Alberta safety codes. So conditions to be considered are that all outstanding property taxes be paid. As I just said, the open discharge septic disposal system be altered to meet the Alberta Safety Code standards. That if required, a development agreement be entered into, and that any utility right-of-ways, easements, or agreements be supplied prior to finalization of the subdivision. Municipal reserve is applicable in this instance. So municipal reserve is money or land that can be taken by a municipality for things like parks, recreation, school sites. The Municipal Government Act gives the county the ability to take a maximum of 10%. So the county does have a municipal reserve policy that dictates the land value per acre. So MPC does have some options in regards to municipal reserve. So one being that the municipal reserve be taken as money in lieu of land on the 3.21 acres that is proposed to be subdivided. So as per the policy, the land value is $4,000 per acre. So that would mean that the municipal reserve payable to the county would be $1,284. So that's option one. Option two would be that the 3.21 acres be deferred to the remainder of the northwest of 12 to be taken at the time of further subdivision. So what happens there is a caveat would be put on title of the remaining parcel of land. And then when we get a subdivision application in the future, then we would take that 3.21 and that would be payable at that time at the land value at that time. So that is the option for MPC to consider. So staff is recommending that MPC approve this subdivision with the conditions that are listed. And we would also recommend that municipal reserve be taken as money in lieu. But that's a discussion that, a decision that can be made by MPC. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Maria? Neil?
How did you get your $4,000 an acre value on a subdivision? That seems to me to be very, 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 very cheap.
That's a really good question. And this is a policy that staff has flagged to bring to council to look at potential updates. So this policy that we have, 2016 PAD-057, was adopted in 2016, and it determines values based on location of land. So in here, it says 12,000 acres or $12,000 per acre for any parcels within the intermunicipal development plan boundary of Brooks and Lake Nowell Resort. And then it says $7,000 per acre within the IDP boundaries of Bizano, Rosemary, and Dutchess. $5,000 per acre within any of the county hamlets, including Tilly, Patricia, Gem, Bow City, Castles, Millicent, Scandia, and Rolling Hills. $4,000 per acre for irrigated land or existing small titles less than 40 acres, and $2,000 per acre for dry cultivated farmland or native pasture. So those were values that were determined at that time, and that's definitely something that could be updated going forward. Part of this policy also says that the landowner, should they not agree with these prices, they could do have an appraisal done, and then county MPC could use that appraisal for the purposes of municipal reserve.
Yeah, I think we're giving these away. You could multiply each one of those by 3, and they wouldn't even be high. Just something to think about before we let it go, because we're dumping a bunch of money here.
Arno?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. What was the date of that last decision evaluation?
2016.
Thank you.
Lynette?
So looking at the bigger map, is there already a yard site subdivided out of the property, or is there 2 already out of it?
There is an existing subdivision right here that the pivot windshield wipers around. So this proposal would be the second subdivision out of the quarter section.
So what's the little thing just above the yellow on your screen there? Oh, so it's just, but that's still part of the quarter section.
That's right. Yeah, that is a shed that the property line goes between the existing yard and that shed. So that barn or hay shed or whatever it is will stay with the remnant parcel.
Dan?
With the municipal reserve, if we were to take it, defer it as a caveat on the residual parcel, but our land use bylaw says we can only have 2 parcels taken out, 2 subdivisions out of a parcel, right? So that would mean that that caveat would never be used, right? Or no?
Yeah, well, if they would like to subdivide further, there would have to be a land use amendment done to rezone the lands to something that would be more appropriate for additional subdivisions out. But you are correct. If it is a caveat and the land never is developed further, then the opportunity to collect that municipal reserve will not be there. Another thing to consider is the caveat would be the 3.21 acres. And at the time of further development, the land value will be reflective of the time, not of right now, if that makes sense.
Kelly? Can you hear me, Kelly?
Yep. I just had to turn my microphone on. I like that we're following the policy that's in place. The landowners were obviously aware of this, and so I would like to make a motion to accept with conditions as recommended by staff and policy.
Neil, you had a question still?
Could we possibly make the approval subject to a current appraisal? Like, I just know these land values are ridiculously low. And if you send true appraisals out there, you'd get it. Take your municipal reserve out of what it's worth. It's a good application, everything's cool, but those numbers are low. That's it.
Maria?
I think that we need to stick with policy, but we could definitely look at updating this soon if council would wish to do that.
Kelly?
And further to that point, I would be concerned about holding up the landowner from doing the work that he needs to get done for this year's season. Just wanted to make that point as well.
Maria, just one more clarification. So on that site, the site they're taking out is fairly small. So are they still going to have their own septic field on that small parcel? And could they have a dugout if they wanted, or just in terms of space, looks rather small?
They do have the ability to have a septic field, pardon me, on that. The pump out they don't have enough space for a pump out. And the dugout does meet the required setbacks, the existing dugout.
Okay, we have Kelly's motion to approve this subdivision with the conditions listed. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. We'll move on then to development permits, DP 2022019.
Good morning. Development permit 2022019 is for the operation of an industrial medium business and the construction of an accessory building. The applicant has submitted a description of their business. It's included in your package. Specifically, they are manufacturing straw blankets. The accessory building will be used to store the raw straw bales prior to being processed, and as well the finished straw blankets. They anticipate 2 truckloads in and out per week. They expect to have 10 employees. From comments from circulations, the fire chief responded that he's comfortable that the building code will ensure precautions are in place. There was no response from adjacent landowners. The city of Brooks had no concerns, so therefore an IDP meeting was not necessary. I just want to note on the applicant's site plan, there's identified 2 road approaches, but there is actually only 1 road approach at this time, and a second one may be constructed in the future. Mr. Lindemulder is here, and he can answer questions. And we are recommending approval with conditions.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry, I was remiss in having us all introduce ourselves to you, so we'll do that now, starting with Neil. Turn mic on, Neil.
Division 10, Neil Johnson.
Good morning, Amanda Philpott, Division 8.
Good morning. We met earlier. Greg Screever, Division 5.
Good morning, Arno Dirksen, Division 9, GM area.
Welcome, Matt Fensky, County CAO.
Holly Johnson, Division 4, Scandia, Rainier, Bow City.
Good morning, Adina Scandrick, Division 2, Tilly area.
Good morning, Dan Short, Division 1, Rolling Hills.
Good morning, Lynette Kopp, Division 3, Patricia Millicent area.
And
Admin, Assistant Planning and Development, and temporary for council.
I'm here just to observe, and my name is Emma Sinclair.
And then Kelly?
I'm Kelly Chrisman from the northwest side of the county, Division 6.
Okay, do we have any questions on this development permit? Dan?
Thrilled to see more businesses coming to the area. The question I have, the fire chief had said that there didn't pose any risk, but you're going to be dealing with hay. And we know that storage of hay is a definite fire risk, but not to the others, but to yourself. What kind of precautions will you be taking to prevent hay fires within your storage facility?
That's actually a good question because I don't know. I don't actually know. I'm not a farmer myself, but we are building this building. It's quite long, quite high, and we will comply with any, requirements that it takes, whether we need additional water storage on site or anything that's required. We're more than happy to do that for it. Yeah.
I think Dan is concerned because we just had a hay fire in Rolling Hill, so that's fresh on our minds. Maria.
I believe that this will require a Alberta Safety Codes permit, so the inspectors will give you guys some guidelines as far as what would be required for fire protection. Yeah.
Greg?
Is this an open building, like a pole shed, or is it a closed-in building that you know, the elements can't get at the straw when it's stored?
The plan is to have just one long open side. So it's going to be, the one that we're proposing is about approximately 40 feet by 200 feet long. And the entire length of the building will be open to the elements. And so easy access, and it won't have a chance to heat or anything like that in it. So that was the idea that was proposed to us as the best way to store straw.
Neil?
I think it's great. 10 more people, 10 new jobs. Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't know if you guys are interested in hearing about our company or what we're planning there. Maybe you
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, my name is James Lindemoller. It's a 22-year-old company. We have approximately 30 employees in Calgary. We manufacture an entire line of products for environment and erosion control of construction sites. So we do a full line of catch basin protection, turbidity curtains, oil booms, things like that. Most of it or all of it is done in the Calgary area. So this is our biggest expansion. So it's kind of an easy one in that we have all the distributors already lined up that are looking for this product from us. So it's not like something we're going to start and hopefully have to shut down. You know, everything is, the first year almost is pre-sold for the first year already for our output for one shift. And that 10 employees is one machine, one shift. And we do anticipate over the next 5 years or so, we'll be adding a second machine and double or triple shifting the plant itself. So there's very much a potential for 40, 50 employees at the plant should it get to that stage from sales. It's a great spin-off for the farmers. As you know, we're in a good area with wheat, and we do require approximately 5,000 large square bales of straw per shift per machine. So there is a lot of opportunity for the farmers to get a partnership with us. We're looking to hopefully encourage farmers to do a long range kind of a plan for us. So we have a multiple year contracts with farmers to supply us our straw on a steady basis throughout the year. So we do think there's a lot of really positive spin-offs for the community as we proceed with this. Never mind trucking and all the rest of it that we have to do to truck it all over Western Canada and the U.S. as well, all of the product that we make. We will be producing one shift, one machine, about a truckload of output every second day. So it's a pretty significant amount, like we said. So yeah, on a personal note, I'm kind of one step out. I started this company 22 years ago, and my sons, of which Grant is one of them on the screen there, who's been working with you, is one of my 4 boys who are taking over the firm. And so that's a really neat thing for me, of course, being the dad and the entrepreneur that my 4 sons are taking over. And we're in a real rapid growth. Since sons have started 5 years ago, we've tripled the size of the company. So good on them. And then this is their most recent push to really get bigger yet. There's no factory making this product in all of Western Canada. The closest one is in northern Manitoba, and he ships mostly, well, different areas, but this area is really underserviced. And so our timing is really good to get the product for Western Canada. So yeah, thanks for having us.
Neil?
One question. Why did you end up here?
Basically, it was because we first selected areas that have straw. So you just look at maps of straw availability in Alberta, and this came up as one of the better areas. We wanted to be on a major trucking route, so being on the Trans-Canada was really good for us. So that was another big thing. And then basically, if the facility came up, you know, with the drop in the oil business, some of the buildings here were very reasonably priced compared, of course, to what I'm used to in Calgary, that we own other facilities. So we were like, you know, wow, I can get it for that price with all that land in the middle of straw country right on a highway. So it really made sense for us. So yeah, we think it was a good location, a good choice for us.
Can we record that for economic development?
When do you hope to be operational?
Yeah, of course, you've heard about supply chain problems. The machine was supposed to be ready in May, shipped to us. It's all made in Germany, the equipment. So it's a very high-end computer-controlled machine. That's actually why it only takes as few people as 10. When you see the machine and the output that it does, it is quite an impressive, big, large, automatic thing. It was supposed to be ready in May, and now, of course, everybody has excuses about steel and chips and all kinds of stuff. So they're talking now it'll be ready in July. It'll be shipped here sometime in August. So we should have the plant up and running. All the technicians and is being assembled by the German manufacturers in the plant. So it'll all be operational hopefully in September, right when there's hopefully straw ready for us to start getting shipments to us.
Thank you. Adina?
So I just wanted to check, did you say you already have people signed up for straw, or you'll be looking for availability?
Yeah, we are definitely looking. Yeah, we had some tentative deals actually a little while ago that kind of fell through when the feedlots came and upped our bid, I guess you could say, and wanted it now. I guess they were in a bit of a panic. So we thought we had like 2,000 large bales bought, and then the farmer backed out and sold it under us, I guess you could say. But the timing wasn't bad because of our delays anyways, where we were thinking we were going to be, ready in July, kind of thing. So we needed last year's harvest straw to go, but now with the delays, it probably turned out for the best for us anyways. But yeah, we are looking for long-term relationships. We don't have anything set up as yet.
Arno?
Question, what kinds of straw do you use?
It's wheat straw is the preferred. The only thing that makes us different is, if you know the trend now, people are using or leaving it on the fields, and especially with fertilizer values going up, there's a value to leaving your straw on the field. But the number one thing is we just need really dry, really long straw. And so when people have combines that break up their straw and spread it on the field, that's something we can't use as much. So that's why we need a relationship with farmers. We need a very long, dry straw with no rocks or anything like that. So it's basically just the high quality long wheat straw.
Arno?
Thank you. How far reach do you expect to draw straw out of? I guess that's a subjective question.
It very much is. Yeah, we think there's enough straw close to the plant that we don't have to truck it from far away. But we do make, I should say this as well, we also make a tube of straw. It's called a wattle, which is just a round, like a big sausage, and that'll be made at the plant as well. And we do make that in Calgary as well, and that part of the plant will be moved to Calgary. And even our straw supplier near Calgary wants to supply all of our straw basically for Brooks. So that there's enough people who would love to get in on that deal, but we think it's more cost effective and better for the area if we just get it locally. And there's a lot of straw in the area, so we think we can anticipate sourcing it quite close. But yeah, time will tell. I have relatives in Fort Saskatchewan who actually want to sell us all the straw we need. And that's how large they are on the farm as well. But I think then, with the fuel rates and freight rates, it's going to be hopefully localized close to the plant.
You can probably tell us a few farmers on this council, can't you? We've lots of questions for you. Lynette.
Just one more question. Can you, do you process the bales, round bales, or do you need the big square ones?
The machinery actually can process both styles, but the square bales work the best. The very center of a round bale actually can be a pain for the machine. So depending on how tightly they're wound and the condition of the straw, sometimes the very core of the round bale gives the machines a bit of grief. And so it's much more recommended that we use the square, but it is capable of using both. One thing I should add as well, there also is a component of coconut fiber in this plant. We're actually getting a coconut fiber shipments as well coming to the plant. That's not a big part of the business in Western Canada, but it's a kind of a growing one. And so we have the ability to do a full coconut fiber blanket, as well as a mixture straw and coconut, or just straw. And so that'll be the products that come output out of this factory.
Okay, council, would anyone like to make a motion? Dan?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve this as it is recommended by staff.
All in favor? And carried? Thank you, is it Linda Mueller? Do I have it right?
It's like the girl's name Linda and then Mulder, Linda Mulder. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Don't pick them, they come with birth.
Okay, move on to development permit 2022028.
Development permit 2022028 is for the construction of an oversized accessory building and approval of 3 existing shipping containers. No variances are being requested. The proposed accessory building and existing shipping containers will be used for storage for the honey operation. There was no issues or concerns from staff. There was no response from adjacent landowners, and the City of Brooks had no issues or concerns, and no IDP meeting was requested. We're recommending approval with conditions.
Thank you. Any questions? Dan?
For the development permit that is applied for after the work is done, I believe there's an extra fee for that. Is there an extra fee for that, and are they being charged the extra fee for approval after the work is done?
Shanley?
That is correct. If you build a building and then you come and get the permit after, you are supposed to be paying double the fee. Anything that it was non-conforming, so before there was a land use bylaw or before we could tell that there was a land use bylaw, we don't know when it was constructed, those ones we do not charge double the fee. In this case, the shipping containers, I'm not completely sure when they were installed on the land, and the building is new that he's constructing, it's not existing.
Any further questions? Greg?
I'd like to make a motion to approve this development.
Thank you. All in favor? And carried. Do we have any, oh, no, I'm on the wrong agenda now, I believe. Okay, are there any post-agenda items? Neil?
Yeah, just before we let it escape, can we put something in motion to get those values checked out for your municipal reserve?
I think that get put in a future council agenda, would it not? Or is it this agenda? Council.
Yeah, that's right. It would be council, but we can fast track this and try to get something in front of council sooner than later.
Thank you. Anything for in camera or question period? No, if not, we adjourn this meeting at 10:34 a.m.